What up gamers, I'm Sir Mav and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. Today, if you somehow haven't read the title yet before clicking this video, we're going to test out all the exotic sniper rifles in Destiny 2 and see which comes out on top as the best exotic sniper in D2. And we're not talking PvP here, there's a lot of good choices there, but today we're looking more on the grounds of sustained DPS for endgame content. And I know, many of you are probably thinking, but Mav, there's only 2 snipers you want to use in D2 for endgame. Which is fair. I'd definitely say for the most part the majority of the player base is either running Izanagi's Burden or Whisper of the Worm for most of the harder content within the game. But if I'm going to test things out, I'm going to do all the sniper rifle exotics so we have a clear understanding of what each sniper rifle does, so we have to include both the Borealis and d.a.r.c.i in the mix of test runs. So in this video we'll be testing out all 4 to see which exotic sniper is the true king of DPS in Destiny 2. And we're not going to just take into account the damage each gun offers up in one shot. To do this right, we have to consider how much damage each sniper can dish out in one round, how fast it can implement said damage, and how much damage you can do with every bit of ammo you have available. These tests will also be done at stock, so no mods such as sniper reserves on my character to increase ammo reserves, or enhanced reloader, even though I would definitely recommend using these when running a sniper loadout. And since light level plays a role in damage, if even just a slight amount per level, I will use the same character for all the tests, and all of my exotic snipers have been upgraded to have the same light level of 965. This will ensure no deviation between damage due to light level changes and provide base level damage stats between each rifle. So before we cover the damage of each gun, let's briefly go over each exotic, their perks, and what each catalyst provides for each weapon. First up, we'll cover the now fan favorite sniper, Izanagi's Burden. Izanagi's of course comes from 801 and is the only exotic sniper that can sit in the kinetic slot on your character. Its exotic perk is Honed Edge, which allows you to consume 4 bullets and place them into one round. This ultimately allows the Izanagi to implement a whopping 73% more damage in one Honed Edge round compared to its standard single round shot. What's interesting though is that you will actually do more damage in 4 single shots of the Izanagis than in one Honed Edge shot. Of course, this is only in the case that you haven't acquired the catalyst yet. Acquiring the catalyst for the Izanagi's Burden through a heroic menagerie run allows your Honed Edge damage to increase by 17% compared to the Izanagi without the catalyst. So it's safe to say you'll want the catalyst for this gun. The same could also be said for the Whisper of the Worm exotic sniper. You'll want to grind its catalyst out, as in doing so you'll increase the gun's overall reload speed and it'll receive the perk Box Breathing, which allows for an additional 26% increase in damage on your targets. The downside is you'll have to aim down sights for almost 2 seconds before it kicks in. But it's not a huge burden unless you have enemies firing at you consistently, causing flinch. Another great perk for the Whisper is White Nail, which allows for more precision damage and reloads your Whisper if you maintain precision shots. Which basically means you'll never have to reload with the Whisper if you can hit every precise shot. And since we're looking at max DPS here in this testing, we're taking into account max potential. So even though we know the Whisper has a reload speed of a little over 3.5 seconds, you won't have to worry about that if you can maintain your accuracy. Next up is the Borealis, which if you are an OG and was here at the beginning of D2, this was once an exclusive to PlayStation gamers. But now that it can be acquired from a random exotic drop, anyone can include it within their arsenal in the energy slot of your loadout. Borealis is one of those weapons made for match game, as by just holding reload you can switch between Void, Arc, and Solar Energy. Another useful perk that gives this gun a damage boost is Ionic Return, but that means expending a bullet on a barrier enemy and breaking it before being able to utilize it. So this makes the Borealis definitely a very niche sniper for very unique encounters, as you're not always going to have a barrier close by to acquire Ionic Return from, which will boost damage by 29%. But this exotic sniper still has its uses and has the fastest reload time out of the 4 at 2.7 seconds. Last up is the d.a.r.c.i, or Data Analysis Reconnaissance and Cooperative Intelligence Device if you never actually read the acronym title. d.a.r.c.i is the most stable of all the exotic sniper rifles with little to no recoil, the fastest fire rate at 140 rounds per minute, but the slowest reload speed at 4 seconds. It also comes with the perk Target Acquired, which boosts the damage of this sniper by 26% and takes less than half a second to activate. And I did test the DPS of the sniper without Target Acquired, but in reality, since it activates so quickly, all of your shots will have this buff with the d.a.r.c.i. So now that you have an idea of each exotic sniper and their buffs, what were the results from testing? Well, to be honest, before I went into this test, I thought Izanagi's was just going to blow everything out of the water, but surprisingly, if you're an amazing shot with the Whisper, you can sustain more DPS on a target. Of course, this all depends on how long the damage phase is and if you can maintain accuracy, because once you miss one shot with the Whisper, you've dramatically decreased your DPS output. It is interesting though that the Izanagi has the worst DPS while firing it normally, but with Honed Edge, it's definitely one of the best options in any loadout, which we sort of all knew, but being me, I like to be sure. The Borealis, you can go ahead and kick it to the curb because it's just a niche weapon that you're really not going to get much use out of. Plus, you have to expend a round after each reload in order to trigger its buff Ionic Return. So unless Bungie changes the damage output of this weapon, it's really no use to you in endgame content. d.a.r.c.i, on the other hand, holds its own against the Whisper and Izanagi for about 3 seconds. But once you encounter that long stock reload speed of 4 seconds, both Whisper and Izanagi take over. With any of these rifles though, at stock reserves, you'll have anywhere from 15 to 28 seconds of ammo before you run out, which is why both Whisper and Izanagi take the top spot within Destiny 2 as snipers to utilize in in-game content. For one, they'll both deplete their rounds between the 15 to 16 second mark, which makes them perfect for any in-game encounter. Let's use both the Pit of Heresy boss and Garden Raid boss as examples. The Pit boss has a damage phase of 50 seconds, which is more than enough time for you to deplete the Izanagi and Whisper of their ammo reserves within the encounter. The Garden Raid boss, Sanctified Mind, is shorter at 20 seconds and 30 seconds if extended, but both exotic snipers are perfect for this encounter as you'll still have time to DPS with another weapon if need be. But here's the kicker as to why the Izanagi is used by so many Guardians in Destiny 2 for in-game content. For one, unlike the Whisper, Izanagi's Burden is a kinetic weapon and utilizes secondary ammo, which is so much easier to obtain compared to heavy ammo that the Whisper uses. This means you're basically guaranteed ammo for each DPS phase thanks to the ammo mods we have at our disposal. Even with mods though, heavy ammo still has such a low drop rate that you may not always have full ammo in the next DPS phase. Plus with Izanagi's in the kinetic slot, this opens you up for a DPS grenade launcher in your heavy slot, allowing for even more damage to any endgame boss. So in conclusion, as predicted, both Izanagi's and Whisper take the top spot as the best exotic sniper rifles within Destiny 2 currently. But because Whisper of the Worm is a heavy weapon, Izanagi's being in the kinetic slot allows for more utility in that you can add another DPS weapon to your heavy slot. Overall though, which exotic sniper is your favorite, and what is likely your most used exotic within Destiny 2? Let me know down in the comments below. Look out for more tests to come, and I appreciate you all watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, drop this video a like and tap fire subscribe for more on Destiny 2. But until next time gamers, this is Sir Mav, signing off.